In the next 15 minutes, you're going to know exactly why your coaching business won't grow and exactly how to fix it. Over the past 5 years of my life, I've worked with over 600 coaches, helping them make the full transition to online coaching and scale past consistent 5K months. And across the board, it is one of 3 problems you will be facing within your business. But it's really important that you can diagnose what these problems actually are so that you can fix it. I'm going to be helping you diagnose the problem in this video today, and I'm also going to be giving you the solution to fix it. Of course, you're not going to get everything that you need in order to fix those problems on a 15-minute YouTube video. You are going to need to work at this. You are going to need to find more information. You might even need to work with us ultimately to get the final solution to this and really implement what needs to happen in the business in order for you to grow. You can also look at the other videos on this channel because it's filled with solutions for you to consume, use, and work from. But today I'm just going to give you some clarity so that you can know what your problem actually is and around about the idea of what you need to do in order to move forward and fix things. So we're going to go through diagnosis to begin with. We're going to go through like what is the problem within your business and how to diagnose what is stopping your business from growing. We're then going to cover the 3 core sections of the business just so that you can simplify your diagnosis down, because sometimes when you're diagnosing the problems within your business, it can get a little bit convoluted because it's not as linear as there's just going to be one problem. There'll be multiple things that need fixing, but we can kind of categorize those into 3 steps. Think of this as like the problems. Think of these 3 steps as the solutions and areas that you need to work on, and we're going to be talking about more actionable steps in those 3 steps. Now, one problem that coaching businesses can face, which will hold them back from scaling past 5K per month, 5K months, is offer problems. And I don't really like to say this because it feels like a little bit of a cop-out answer, like, oh, it's just your offer sucks, you just need a new offer. And I don't like the idea of offer hopping either. I just think that it's, shiny object behavior. It's not always the best route, but we're going to talk about things that might be wrong with your offer so that you can just make sure that it's not those things and that it's not an offer problem that you're dealing with. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to jump into the diagnosis of your business. So grab a notepad and pen or get notes up on your phone so that you can actually write this down and have it on pen and paper, exactly what's holding your business back from growing. I've made this little abbreviation, E-knockers. This is how I'm going to help you remember it. E-knockers, I don't know, I was thinking like electric tits, something like that. Just to help you stick this in your brain of like how to diagnose a business, because it's so easy to get pulled in different directions and to get deluded and start to solve the wrong problems. You've got to stay focused on solving one of these problems. So E-N-O-C-A-S, E-knockers, electric tits, I don't know, however you want to remember that. Anyway, what does it stand for? It's exposure, nurture, opportunities, conversations, appointments, sales. Sorry, there's just a rogue drawing from my last presentation that's there. Let me just get rid of that for you guys because it's going to confuse you until a few seconds time. So we've got exposure, nurture, opportunities, conversations, appointments, sales. Here are the questions that I'm going to ask you now, and I want you to ask yourself and answer within your notes. Do you have enough exposure? That would mean 10 to 20 new followers finding you every single day. Do you have, and if the answer is no to that, guess what your bottleneck is? It's that one. If the answer is yes, then the next question you're going to ask yourself is nurture. Are you nurturing your audience enough to the point where they're engaging and seeing you as an authority? There's not really a tangible metric that you can put on this. It's more something that you're going to sense as you're talking to your leads. If the answer is no to this, what your reality will look like is people will be ignoring your DMs, your content won't be getting that much engagement, you'll have nobody reaching out to ask questions or ask for your help. So we're just going to put a little heart icon there. Does it feel like your audience not loves you? They don't have to love you, but does it feel like they're listening? Does it feel like anybody's there? Does it feel like they're getting value from it? Do you feel like you're solving their problems through nurture? If the answer's no to this one, then this is what we need to work on. And again, don't worry, we're going to cover the solutions. I just want you to be able to diagnose the problem first. So first 2 questions you can ask yourself: do I have 10 to 20 followers finding me per day? If no, we're going to talk about the solutions to that in a minute. Are those people getting nurtured enough If no, obviously that's your thing. If yes, then the next thing that we need to move on to is, am I generating enough opportunities to have conversations with people? So what conversations look like, and if you go and watch the previous video to the one posted here, it's going to be about DMs, right? And creating conversation opportunities and how to make it so that you're not doing cold DMs and your DMs are actually warm. And I speak more on the actionable steps and what you can do as conversation opportunities in that video. So if you want to watch it, you should. But conversation opportunities basically is giving you an excuse to reach out to somebody or giving somebody an excuse to reach out to you. This might come in the form of a free guide or a lead magnet or a indirect call to action, like putting a poll onto your story saying, who's training today, or what do you struggle with the most, right? And these are different reasons and excuses for people to engage with you, giving you the opportunity to start conversations with them. Now, there isn't a set amount you need of this, right? Because conversation opportunities come in many different forms. Even somebody following you is technically a conversation opportunity because they followed you, they've walked into your shop door. You know, you can say hi to them. You know, they're not. It's not criminal to do that. It's not too pushy or salesy to say hello to somebody who's followed you. It's pretty normal actually. So conversation opportunities. What I'm going to say here is like, can you start at least 20 to 40 new conversations with people per day? Or can you follow up at least 20 to 40 people per day? If that sounds like a lot to you, I am being very conservative in that volume. Yesterday I did this exact same presentation and that number was 50 to 100 to my clients. Because there are a lot of people that I know, that I work with, that have more leads so they can send more DMs. Obviously, if you're just kind of bottlenecked at the moment, most of you will probably be bottlenecked at exposure. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking, I'm bottlenecked at, people even finding me. I'm not even getting any leads. And I understand that. And, especially if you're bottlenecked there, does it mean you can't work on these other areas of the business? No, because remember, this list isn't linear and I'm trying not to let it get convoluted or confuse you. But especially like when you're starting out, I'm being very conservative by saying you just, at a very minimum, need between 20 and 40 conversation opportunities and reasons to reach out to people per day. Ideally, this should be higher. You need more leads than this. You need to be starting more conversations than this, especially if you want to be blasting past 5K months, 10K months. Pretty much every single business making 10K, 20K, 30K, they are sending ridiculous amounts of outreach. And I'm talking like 200, 300 a day. Does that mean that you're going to be doing it? No. And does that mean that it's going to be cold outreach to a bunch of people that don't want to speak to you? Absolutely not. Obviously, once you get to those levels, you can be running ads, which we're going to talk about here in a second. You can be making more content, and that's going to give you warmer opportunities and bigger reasons to actually reach out to people. So you'll have more people to nurture as leads and turn into book calls. Alternatively, you don't even have to do any conversations once you get to that point. You can actually just be running a call booking funnel and send people straight onto the call. Sometimes that's more efficient. It depends on the offer. It depends on how you want to run the business. You can do what you want with this. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to look at the DM volume and think, is that it? Is this the way to grow the business? Because it's not the only way, but it is a way and it bloody works. And a lot of people use it, and more than likely you're going to have to, even if you're just trying to get this thing off the ground and get past 5K, you're going to have to get used to being able to send those DMs so that you can get to the light at the end of the tunnel and then transition into those other more sexy ad systems, which, come in at a later date. Next, are you waking up? This is conversations now. So if the answer is yes, I'm getting these opportunities for conversations and I'm starting them. Are you waking up every single day to 10 plus conversations in your DMs and people to reply to? So basically, when you wake up tomorrow morning or when you woke up this morning, how many conversations did you have? If it was over 10, cool, you can move on to the next one. If the answer is no, then this is what we need to work on. Maybe it's a problem with your opening message. Maybe it's you're not sending enough messages. Can you see where it's now going to get a little bit convoluted? Because it could also be the fact that your nurture isn't strong enough. It could be any one of these previous problems. Okay, but you need to figure out where is the bottleneck, where's the cutoff point with this to sort of figure out, cool, yeah, you're gonna have to go back through all of these and wanna solve each one, but let's figure out where the diagnosis is. Let's figure out what the actual problem and bottleneck is. So next is appointments. So the question here is, are you booking between 5 and 10 per week? Are you booking between 5 and 10 appointments per week? If the answer to that is no, then that's where you're bottlenecked. Now, more than likely, if you're waking up to 10 plus conversations per day, and you're not booking between 5 and 10 sales calls per week, there's an issue in your DMs. If that's the case, previous video, go and watch it. It's gonna save your business. It's gonna save your life. It's gonna unblock this sort of pipeline issue that you've got on people not being able to get on the sales call with you. It's really, really important that you get that down. Next, if you're getting those appointments, are you closing at least 40%, meaning that you're getting anywhere from sort of 2 to 4 clients a week? If the answer to that is no, then you have a sales problem or one of the other problems on here. So again, you're going to be dealing with these different problems at different times. And those questions that I've asked you there, and Enochers, electric tits, you're going to want to think about that regularly. You're going to want to think about this all the time. Whenever you're stuck within your business, whenever you don't know what to work on, whenever you don't know what to do, this is pretty much going to be your highest leverage thing when it comes to actually making more money, when it comes to actually unblocking the pipeline and moving things forward. Now, we are going to simplify this so that you can work on it bit by bit and actually find actionable solutions to this, but that's how you break down what the problems are. Most of you will not be getting between 10 and 20 followers per day. And by the way, those 10 to 20 followers per day should be niche specific followers, not just random Indians or something like that following you. But yeah, we're going to talk about this here in a second. So let's go into the 3 sections of the business so that I can give you some action steps and start to help you understand what it is that needs to be worked on in order to make sure these problems in your diagnosis aren't actually existing, or at least you're starting to solve some of these bottlenecks. If you want the stats, right, 10 to 20 followers per day, 20 to 40 conversation opportunities, people to reach out to, 10 plus conversations when you wake up in the morning, 5 to 10 sales calls weekly, 40% close rate, 2 to 4 closes per week. Those are the metrics, those are the KPIs that you should be working at and should be tracking at. Now, do I promise you that that's going to make you 5K per month? No, because it depends on your prices. But if your prices, and again, separate topic, separate video, if your prices are what they should be, then it will be making you at least 5K per month, most likely more. But anyway, enough about that. Let's move on to the stages of the business. So first one, where shall I go here? Let me just sit down and write this for you. This first one is going to be audience. Okay? So the first bottleneck to the business, and you might be looking at the 10 to 20 niche specific followers and lead generation and like recognizing that as your problem. Sometimes, and in a lot of cases, lead gen isn't the main issue, because I've known coaches to get 10, 20, 30, sometimes even like 50 new followers per day, but their conversion and their like sales absolutely sucks. So like it's pointless. You're just stacking up leads for absolutely no reason. You've got 3 different types of content. Let me just explain this to you. You've got 3 different types of content. You've got top of funnel, you've got middle of funnel, and you've got bottom of funnel, okay? Now, top of funnel is designed to get you eyeballs. That's an eyeball, not a dodgy looking tit. Middle of funnel is designed to nurture people. And bottom of funnel is designed to convert people, okay? So basically, what a lot of people make the mistake of doing, because they recognize exposure as their issue or audience as their bottleneck, they only focus on top of funnel content. So what does that lead to? Well, it means that you're trying to nurture and you're trying to do the DMs, you're trying to start conversations, but these people, they just don't seem interested because you're obsessed with top of funnel content, which is never going to nurture people enough to the point of being responsive enough in these conversations to book a call and come onto that call and you be able to close at a sensible rate. You're going to be struggling, right? And if you're feeling that right now with leads, then this might be why. Go and look at your content. Is it all designed to bring in more audience members, or is it designed to actually solve specific solutions to people's problems? Even though that content gets less engagement, it does more work in the nurture. And this nurture element, I can't talk about it enough. It's so important. Middle of funnel content is like the missing piece to a lot of businesses, okay? So that's just a little point I wanted to make on audience, just so that you can start to understand, like, the business is simple, right? These 3 stages that we're going to be talking about here, it is really simple, but solving the problems can sometimes get complicated and convoluted, and being able to think with clarity is really important, and we're going to tie that all together in these three sections of the business here in a second. But the first one is audience. And I just wanted to make a few distinctions and give you some lessons to help you have these realizations. Hopefully, in this video, you are having those sort of, oh, that's my problem. Oh, that's what I need to fix. That's what I want. You should be having a few aha moments during this, right? So if you are, then like the video or leave a comment. Let us know what your bottleneck actually is. And I'll reach out to you in the comments and let you know what you need to change. Or reach out to me on Instagram and we can talk about it there. Anyway, so going into audience. Now, you've got 3 ways to expand your audience. You have got organic content. We're just gonna do, that is an eyeball. It's not a tit. You've got organic content. Shall I just write OC? Yeah, OC, organic content. You've got paid content, which is ads, running ads, paying for Meta to display your content to strangers. And then you've got one-to-one interactions. We'll just call this like outreach kind of. So basically, this is it. This is all you have to grow your audience, which is like crazy, but it simplifies it for you, right? You can either, and again, if you can think of ways for your audience to grow without you needing like word of mouth or something like that, then put it in the comments. But they don't exist. Anybody that tells you otherwise, they'll just be selling you some like fancy system. This is all you've got. The only tools you've got available to grow your audience. You're going to have to do one of these free or all of these free or 2 of these free, all times in order to keep the audience growing. Anyway, organic content is obviously posting reels, posting YouTube videos, posting TikToks, posting shorts, just posting content onto your Instagram that's designed to get more views. Pretty self-explanatory. Trial reels are really working well at the moment. So that's, one thing that you need to be doing. Paid content. So this is obviously paying for your content to be shown to niche specific strangers. Now, there is a certain strategy around this that we tend to do with our clients because basically, let me just write this down here. You can spend £10 per day on what's called a follower ad. Now, what the follower ad will do is it will cost you around £1 per follower to bring a follower in. So if you spend £10 per day, you'll get 10 followers per day, and they'll be niche specific. There's a very particular way that you've got to do the follower ads to make it actually work, which we do with our clients, but that's your second option. So £300 per month for like at least 10 followers per day, pretty good deal. As long as you know what you're doing with those and your nurture is strong and you're good at creating conversation opportunities and you're starting the conversations and carrying them out and you're doing them in a way which is booking the calls and you're decent at closing, you're going to be all right. It's going to work, okay? So that's obviously paid. And then, and the good thing about paid is that, guess what? Next month, if you've made a profit on this, you can spend more. You could spend £20 a day, £30 a day, £40 a day. We spend about £300 a day on our ads. So yeah. Next is outreach, one-to-one connections. Highly, highly, highly underrated. Now, when I say one-to-one interactions, do I mean cold outreaching people? No, I don't mean that. On Instagram and on Facebook, what you can do is go and find accounts within your niche. So say, for example, you're working with men that want to get in shape. You can go and find average everyday guys from your social connections, go into the likes of their photos or their followers, and you'll find a bunch of average everyday guys who are in that niche. And you can basically go down and spam follow a bunch of those guys. And what you'll find is if you follow, I know this is super like unleveraged and super not sexy, but this, I'm going to save you a lot of money because a lot of mentors will tell you to do this, but charge you thousands and thousands of pounds to do it, to tell you it. This is what a lot of people will tell you. This thing bloody works. It just does. Because think about it. It's a free way for you to get your name and your page in front of somebody, and you can do it 50 times a day to niche specific individuals. Why would you not do that? It's going to take you 50 minutes per day. No, it doesn't hurt your Instagram engagement. We've tested it on so many different accounts now. No, people don't find it weird. It just works. So actually, I would say, I don't want to get your account restricted for doing too many, but I would say test out between 50 and 100 follows to niche specific people per day. And that is pretty much what you'll find is, as long as your profile doesn't suck and you look like a freak on your profile or something, you'll pretty much find that you get an absolute minimum of 10 people coming to your page. So again, like if you want to instantly follow, if you want to instantly fix this exposure problem, which a lot of you probably are facing, then just do that. Seriously, just do that. Now, what I wouldn't recommend doing is don't let your following get over 1,000. So don't let the number of people that you're following get over 1,000. We're getting really in the weeds here, but like, don't let the amount of people that you're following exceed 1,000 people. Make sure it's below that, so the numbers look a bit neater. Anyway, moving on to conversion. So this is the second section of your business. Okay, so now that you've got those people in and you're getting 10 to 20 followers, now we can kind of transition into the conversion aspect of actually turning these people into clients. Now, there's a few things that need to happen in order for somebody to make the decision to buy from you. Number one, they need to know, like, and trust you enough. Number two, they need to see you as an authority to the point where they believe you have the knowledge and skills to solve their problem. So, the first thing that you need is what we call a content ecosystem. Okay? A content ecosystem. So what a content ecosystem essentially is your top, middle, and bottom of funnel all working in congruency with each other. And what that basically means is that your top of funnel content sends people to your middle of funnel content. For example, our ads that we run now, which will be like me being like, if you're stuck under 5K per month and you don't know why your coaching business isn't growing, then click this learn more button below because I'm going to give you a free diagnosis, etc., etc. You might be here because you clicked on that ad, right? That's our top of funnel. That's not going to turn you into a client straight away. The middle of funnel is this, for example, our training and me displaying expertise, me building know, like, and trust. And then our bottom of funnel is, if you hit the link in the description of this video, it's actually a link to a explainer video of what it is that we do with our clients. So if you're watching this video, you're getting a ton of value and you're thinking about working with us, then, and you want to run the same system that we're running and that we're running with our 600 plus clients that we've worked with, then you can click that link below and basically find out how to work with us, right? And that's a good example of top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Now, is it going to be the same for your business as it is for mine? Absolutely not. Right? It's different for every single business. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up, thinking that there is like one way that suits all. There is no one size fits all. It just doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. Achieving anything doesn't work like that. Everybody is, unique in their own little way. Everyone's business is unique in its own little way. So things will be done differently in yours. And that's why with our clients, we customize the solution. We customize how to solve these problems and what sort of funnel and ad system is going to be best for them. I'm trying to help you kind of wrap your head around your own business in this video so that you can figure it out. But a content ecosystem is basically that. Top, middle, bottom of funnel. And guess what? If people don't go through your bottom of funnel, what your bottom of funnel should do is send people back to the middle of funnel. So, for example, even if people do go through, it should send people back to the middle of funnel so that they can get nurtured more. So before they jump on the sales call with you after they book through the page that's in that link below, they're actually nurtured and they're willing to make a decision. But let's say they don't do that. The bottom of funnel content shouldn't burn the lead. It shouldn't it shouldn't be a make or break for them. They might watch it, think, I'm going to work with this guy at some point, but maybe not right now. I'm just going to keep consuming his YouTube videos, keep consuming his free content for the time being until I'm ready to do it. So the middle of funnel content should then keep that person nurtured. And what you'll find is when you've got this cycle going on, so imagine, let's just draw it up here, because it's kind of like you have top, middle, bottom. What happens is the top feeds to the middle feeds to the bottom. What will happen then is they'll either close, okay, or they'll just go back around to the middle of funnel. And they kind of get like, it's an ecosystem. They get sent around, like people get sent in and then they get sent around in circles until they end up buying the product. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do to you. I'm kidding, you don't have to buy from us. But that's essentially the purpose of having a top, middle, and bottom of funnel. That's what a content ecosystem is. And if you've not got this set up in the right way, then you're going to probably be dealing with problems such as definitely not enough conversation opportunities, definitely not enough nurturing, enough people reaching out, definitely not enough people responding to your DMs because they won't actually see you as an authority enough that, you'll never be sort of speaking to them in the way that you need to within your content in order for them to respond. Definitely not enough appointments. Sales calls are going to be a nightmare. You're going to be getting no-shows. You're going to be getting people ghost you, etc., etc. The list goes on if you don't have the content ecosystem set up. So next thing is going to be appointment setting. Appointment set. Whatever. That is the worst handwriting you've ever seen. Appointment setting. So the next thing is you need to have your funnel for somebody getting onto a call with you structured in the right way. Most of you, it's going to be DMs, which is why I've literally just made a video all about DMs and how to get them right, which you should go and watch after this if you're struggling with your messages. Or if you're not doing this, if you're not doing the DM thing and you are at a stage where you're like, cool, I just want like the VSL, I want the booking page where people can just go on there, book a call with me and talk to me. Well, then you need to make sure that there's a correct architecture in place, because appointment setting isn't the act of just putting numbers on the calendar. It's not as simple as book 5 to 10 calls per week. It's not. You need to make sure that those 5 to 10 calls that are being booked are people that are actually going to show, and they're being shown pre-call assets. What a pre-call asset is would be like a long training like this, which is going to nurture somebody and educate them, build more of that know, like, and trust before they get on the call with you, so that by the time they do get on the call with you, they are just like dialed. They want it, right? So that is appointment setting and what needs to be focused on there. And then after that is just closing the deal. And to be honest, in conversion, as long as you've got your content ecosystem set up and your appointment settings on point, conversion should be easy. I am the laziest salesperson on the planet. I don't try on sales calls. I don't hard close people. If somebody has objections, like sometimes I'll handle them if I think it's somebody who really should do it. Like if I'm handling your objection, that means it's blatantly obvious what needs to happen with your business to move forward, and therefore I will stay on there with you to make sure that you get the help. But if it's somebody who's like, I don't know, not like all in or something, then I'll just let them go. And my close rate, by the way, on my sales calls is around 45%, which is for our industry, for my industry especially, is bloody good. It's a fantastic close rate for somebody who doesn't try to handle objections. Our pay in full rate is really high as well. Most people that come on board don't split pay, they just pay it all in one go. And again, that's because we have really strong content ecosystem, really strong appointment setting systems, so that when people get on calls with us, they are just, Tom, I need your help, I see the solution, I'm ready to go. And that's just because, again, throughout the conversion, throughout the content ecosystem, throughout this whole experience, like, I'm really just making sense of what's holding the business back and saying, here's the solution. That's the whole point in this video, right? And this is what you should be doing for your own clients and your own people that you want to be working with as well. You should be making content that helps them become aware of their problems and gives them the solutions to that. Not everybody will become a client. Not every single one of you watching my video now will become a client of mine, and that's fine. That's fine. I'd be concerned if you all did become a client, but a lot of you, or some of you at least, will go on to become clients from watching this and go and get our help. So that's the whole point in doing a piece of content. And I'm also I'm talking about this system, I'm also trying to demonstrate it so that you can see it in action as well, okay, so that you know that it works, because we get a decent amount of clients. And then lastly, we have delivery. So what delivery is, well, you know what delivery is because you're a coach, so you know what it means. It means getting your clients good results and delivering a great service. But what delivery is all about is transformation. It's about getting somebody to the other side. It's about making sure that the person that's paid you is getting fantastic results. I do not care about your bottleneck diagnosis on your marketing side of things. I don't really care about the audience and the conversion if you do not have delivery in place. If the people that are paying you are not getting phenomenal results, life-changing results, then you don't have a business. You need to make sure that you've got this right. If you're starting out and you don't have any clients yet, don't obsess over this yet, because in order to get to a good delivery, you need to get the clients on board first. That's what's going to help you build it. But if you're somebody who's earning 2, 3, or maybe you've had a 5K month before and you're just kind of like a little bit stuck trying to scale it, but you've had clients we need to have a look at your delivery and make sure that it is like phenomenal, because people should be queuing at the door because your delivery is so good. Okay? And that then, again, if this is strong, working backwards, it's going to make your content ecosystem, your appointment setting, doing the calls a lot easier. It's going to make growing the audience a lot easier, because people are going to recognize that you've got something that they can truly use, and it's going to change their lives. So the elements of delivery, you've got service structure, and basically service structure is what it says it is. It's the structure of your service. How efficient are your automations? How comprehensive is your education that you're giving to the clients? How well do you hold these people accountable? Basically, the quality and efficiency of your service should be high end. You shouldn't be using like just little spreadsheets that they have to like pinch on their phone to see their workouts. You want to be using an actual app. Ideally, you want to be getting your own branded app as well. Again, big distinction, you don't need to go and get your own app made, right? You can use an app like Trainerize, TrueCoach, Kahuna's, Everfit, and you can pay once you get to a certain point, like £200 per month to have this branded, to have that app in your own brand, and then your client will be able to log into it. It looks amazing, it looks awesome on their phone and stuff. So yeah, service structure, all these little tweaks, making sure that it's personalized to them and getting it right. You've then got referrals. So referrals, obviously you want your business to be growing organically. It can't just grow off front-end cash, off just people that are at the beginning. These coaching businesses, these ones where you see them making like 20, 30, 40, 50K per month, even the crazy ones that are doing 100, 200K per month. Sorry, my washing machine's beeping at me. Shut up. We're trying to talk about bottlenecks and shit. So even the ones that you see having these huge numbers, the reason that they have huge numbers is because number one, they get a lot of referrals. Number two, and this is the sort of third pillar to delivery, is retention. Number two is retention. They retain their clients, okay? And they upsell their clients. What I'm saying is, these big businesses that are doing the crazy numbers, a lot of their money isn't made on front-end cash. So if you see somebody do like a 50K month and they charge £5,000 or whatever for their program, again, just making numbers up here, doesn't mean that they got 10 new clients. It might mean that they got 4 or 5 new clients, but then they had 20 clients, upsell or retain, they have monthly recurring revenue because they've got split pays. Like, it's not as simple as just like, dollars in, dollars out, X amount of people pay you X amount of money. There's all this back end income that's going to be made as well. That's going to make up a large portion of your income when you want to hit these bigger months. So anyways, that is basically it. That is basically how it all works. So I hope that you've had some aha moments. I hope that you've come to some realizations about your business and started to learn what it is that you need to fix. If it's a case of you need to fix certain parts of the business, but you're just struggling to understand how, and you want us to come and install a content ecosystem and an ad system to your business so that you can actually break your plateaus in the next 3 months, then go and book a call through the link below. Like I said to you before, there's an explainer video just explaining what it is that we do. And obviously if you hate it, then you don't have to do it, then that's fine. But it's there, just wanted to make the offer. Anyway, so going to the offer problems now, the most boring part of the video. Yes, I saved it till last. But normally people save the most exciting part of the video till last so that they retain people in the video. I didn't do that because I just wanted to give you the source. But if your offer does not have a clear current situation or let's just call it a before, and a clear desired outcome, let's just call it an after, you're screwed. You're really, really screwed, because people aren't gonna wanna pay you because you don't solve their problem. And again, this sometimes is the case. Like, I'll give you an example. So we had a client years ago now, we had a client who, her offer was to help women learn to do push-ups. And I am all for women doing push-ups, do not get me wrong. But if you were to go and ask the majority of women out there, if you're a woman watching this, you might attest to this and know better than me. Most women out there didn't really care about learning a push-up. They wanted to lose weight. They wanted to grow a bigger butt. Washing machine. We're talking about growing bigger butts and offers and stuff. Can you please stop beeping at me? Sorry, guys. And obviously her offer didn't do well because women didn't care that much about what she was offering. Comprende? Makes sense? So the desired outcome and the current situation has to be around something that people basically care about. And that sounds really obvious and simple because it is, right? So you should be able to say, I take my clients from insert painful current situation. Don't just say unconfident, unhappy. It needs to be like overweight, low energy, right? If I say overweight, low energy, you think of a fat person laid on the couch, like just sort of slumped over, low energy, right? To aesthetic, that says aesthetic, sure. To aesthetic and high energy. Or aesthetic and athletic. I like that one, actually. I use that as examples all the time. So if you think of somebody who's aesthetic and high energy, you think of me. No, I'm joking. You think of somebody who's got like a really good physique and they're like super high energy and they can do whatever they want all the time. So basically, I know that like offer oftentimes talks about delivery. Offer and delivery are different things. Your offer is what you're offering to them, and what you're offering to them is the transformation. That's the thing that they want. It is, if you think about Alex Hormozi's thing here, so this is you think he calls it the value equation. So you've got desired outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. And on the bottom, so basically you need to increase these two things. You need to increase the attractiveness of the desired outcome, or you need to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. You also need to decrease the time delay and the effort and sacrifice. So basically, what it means, right, and I guess this is my extension of the value equation from Alex, is that you need to take your client from overweight to wherever, or whatever your offer is. Obviously, it doesn't have to, you just need a clear outcome. It doesn't have to be weight loss, obviously. It just needs to be a clear outcome. You need to take somebody from one side to the other, and you need to make this other side, the desired outcome, as attractive as possible. That's going to happen through it being clear and through it not being something like women learning push-ups, obviously. You need to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement, and that's by kind of explaining your way of doing things, right? Similar to kind of how like I've shown you like this audience conversion delivery. This is my offer. This is actually like what I present to clients. Look, first we're going to do this, next we're going to do this, next we're going to do this, right? And what that does is it basically increases the perceived likelihood of achievement because I give people a 1, 2, 3 step of how they're going to get to the other side, the outcome that they want, right? So perceived likelihood of achievement, your way of doing things, and then you need to reduce the time delay. You don't need to, but it's obviously better if you can. Reduce the time delay and reduce the effort and sacrifice. That is what people want. That is how you increase value. This equals money, whatever, value. So yeah, just some food for thought with your offer. Like I say, I really hope that you've had some aha moments and that you found this training valuable. I will be absolutely redoing this training in the future. I'll be making one of these every couple of months just to kind of give you any sort of more fresh perspectives or any sort of more simplified ways of explaining this to you. I'll just be repeating this type of training along with all the other trainings that you've got on this channel. This channel is made to be the most valuable YouTube channel on the internet for coaches who are trying to break past 5K months, hit consistent 5-figure months, and continue to grow. So hopefully it's helped you. Subscribe.